Hello to the very funny and very sexy Nipsey Russell.
Which camera's on me?
Nipsey,
It's not a female one, I'll tell you
All
that.
right, see how he's asking which camera? Oh, I'm going to ask you a question.
Right.
They told me I can ask you, Nipsey.
You A.
How old are you?
29.
29?
29.
All right.
If Dr. Ruth is telling the truth that life is really unfair, it seems that sex is too complex and I'm not getting my share.
Oh, how abundant.
And also with us is veteran radio and television broadcaster, my very good friend, Virginia Graham.
Thank you.
Now,
the adjectives were missing. You are just a very good friend. Nothing gorgeous, looks well for her age, nothing.
Yes.
Yes, what were you saying,
Wait. If I would say all of these things...
Takes time from our conversation,
Right.
correct.
Right. So
right.
I would like to ask the two of you, but I'll start with Nipsey. Nipsey?
Thank you.
Are we compelled to tell the truth?
Age
Yes,
before beauty.
the truth.
Not
The truth.
one word
Yes.
from me. That
Yeah,
I promise.
Nipsey, now that you're 29,
Yes.
I want to know one thing.
Right.
I want to know how you get the women to date you, how you get them into bed, and what can we learn about issues of dating and sex for older people. I'm not going to say how old.
Yes. Well, romance doesn't really get better as one gets older. One just gets better at it. And
Tell me what you mean. How you meet a woman today,
yes.
you're interested in her, what do you tell her?
Well, strangely enough, when people are in the business that Virginia and I enjoy, we don't really reach out for women. People come to us, and when people come to us,
They
we
look
really...
at that face of yours and they say, this
They
guy...
see an inner
No,
vitality.
it's income tax.
So they see the income they know, Virginia.
Right.
So
That's
then
all
they say,
that
this
matters.
guy must have a lot of energy.
Right.
Money.
You say money,
Yes.
he says energy.
Whatever they see, it is the women who see it in you. Then they find many reasons for finding a man attractive.
And then what happens next?
Oh, Mike, you don't know at your age. You are asking
You see,
this
we
man-
feel that sex is not something that should be discussed on television. Sex should be discussed in the home. And if
I
you'd
agree
like me
with
to
you.
come to your home and discuss sex with you sometime.
So let's
I'll be
talk
able-
about the
Best
apartment.
offer I have had in a long
no,
time.
I'm coming with him, and we'll have chicken soup, and we will lie together.
And then we
Oh,
will
I would never
talk
tell the truth.
together. Virginia,
Yes, darling.
you have been married
Forever.
forever.
Yes.
Look at that wonderful face.
From my romper room, yes.
Tell me, what is it about getting older that keeps a person vital, that keeps a person interested in not only sex, but also in relationships?
No, I must tell you, as you get older,
Yes.
and you have been married to one man. Now, if you're married to several men, like Ann Miller was, she used to say that every marriage was like opening night. She had to have full makeup on and never had curlers.
But what if you
but if
stay
you're
married
married,
to the
but
same-
if you're married to the same man, he gets double cataracts, he snores, he gets fat, and he never sees you aging. If you have a little fat hanging over the
He
bra,
doesn't see that.
you tell him that, he says, the new fellow says, are you coming or going? Your husband says, it's hanging out, tuck it in. Now, it's a whole different attitude because you age together. And when he can't do what he used to do and never, perhaps not as well as it should have been then, but
you
you
can
don't
help
have a
him. But you can help him.
You can help by going to bed early and sleeping before he does.
No,
the best way you can
no,
make a
Virginia.
man feel sexy is to go to sleep before him. Then he'll never know that you didn't say yes. No, I'm talking about caressing and loving.
Yes.
When you get older,
Yes.
the thing I miss
Yes.
is lying in bed, having someone fondle me, having someone kiss me,
I tell you
someone
what,
to hug
Ruth,
me, and if the other thing is
Develops.
not there, please, dear, you take that into a dark room to develop it. If it isn't there,
It doesn't matter because
Not
you
at
did
all.
get hugged and kissed. Okay, but
Hug
would
and kiss is
when it
more
is
than
there,
enough.
I want to know, Virginia, when it is there, let's suppose he has an erection. Is sex
oh, this
better?
is Fantasy Island, yes.
But it's late night. We are talking here very late. We can talk openly.
Well, let me
Very late.
interrupt, Doctor.
Yes.
Nothing goes up late at
Wait
night
one second.
except the
for,
flag.
for serious consideration of this sexual
Yes.
subject. People get older and
Yes.
they understand better the passions that are infused into the sex act. It
Absolutely
doesn't
right.
mean the physical stamina might not be there. Maybe the vitality, the excitement, the fantasia that goes with sex may not be there.
But they have the passion.
The warmth, the
It's not a
understanding.
passion. It's more than that, darling.
What is
It's
it?
a need for a relationship with someone. When you go into a home when you've been a widow, the sound of silence is the worst noise you can hear, Ruth.
But that's love. I'm
that's
talking about
love.
raw sex. The physical.
Raw
Now,
sex?
Yeah.
I'm a
wait. Before we
I
talk
don't
about raw
believe in
sex,
it.
Nipsey, let me ask you something. When you were younger
Yes.
and you had fantasies, because
Right.
everybody, every
I
man,
still
every
do.
woman.
Masturbatory fantasies. Say them as
Oh,
Can
don't
I
ever
say it?
cook in
Okay.
my house.
Did they change you? You two are really comedians.
Yeah.
You are
Oh,
funny.
yeah.
Did the fantasies, Nipsey, change with age?
They changed only in that the objects of those fantasies changed.
Let me
Well, we
explain.
see we had celluloid objects of our fantasies when we were young. We thought
like
of
Hollywood dolls.
Yes,
and yes.
we thought of Lena Horne, we thought of Dorothy Dandridge, we thought of the beautiful
Right.
women whose pictures we saw in magazines. Now we have our own. I have a thing that says, I'm here to set the record straight about sex appeal and overweight. It is nice to be neat and look petite, but if you want to feel some heat, you got to have some meat. See, I like.
And now
So
I take
now,
yeah.
wait, 1 second, Virginia.
I
So
have a more
now-
generously endowed woman as my sexual
And do
fantasy.
you fantasize about younger women?
No, no. I never did.
More
Even when I was
physically?
very young, I liked older women.
I like
always
to
did.
hear that. What about you, Virginia?
What I
Younger
try-
men,
oh,
or older
please, I've been through
Truth.
kindergarten. No, I like them when they're still a robust, a little heavy, and once a year is plenty. But let me just say this.
Yes.
The best story in the world is this couple are married for a long time and they're just getting nowhere. He's in Poughkeepsie and she's in Albany. So they can't arrive at any conclusion. So she looks at him and says, "You can't think of anybody either." So this is, it depends upon if you need sexual release. It depends upon whether it's because you think the man still desires you and you're gratifying a need in him, and maybe you don't feel like it at that moment. The thing about growing old together...
You would still do it
Never.
because
Never. Only if I wanted to see if the ceiling needed painting.
See, a woman can fake it, a man must make it.
That's
right.
Oh, that's
A
a nice
man can-
sentence. But
That's right.
Let me ask you something about that couple that you just mentioned
Yeah.
when he's one someplace
Yeah.
else. Do you, Virginia, do you ever feel lonely?
I never feel lonely. Sometimes I'm lonesome, but I'm never lonely because I've filled my life with too many activities. And when I see my friends who are married,
Right.
there are 3 things that you've got to remember at all stages of your life. When you marry, you must have your own income,
Yes.
your own bathroom.
Your own bathroom.
Yes. Oh, heaven.
And because-
Harry and I always had cramps at the same time. One bathroom. and another thing,
How about
if
the
you
tooth-
always, well, one of us had
toothpaste.
hemorrhoids. But anyhow, the third thing to remember is that if you court each other,
Yes.
you'll never wind up in court.
That's
You have
nice.
to always keep romance, but you have to have your own money and your own John.
Nipsey and Virginia, wait 1 moment. I want to take a phone call.
this should
And
be good.
Jillian from New York, you are on the air.
Hello, Dr. Ruth.
Hello, Jillian.
I'm 53,
Yes.
and I guess I could be called a grandmother, although I don't feel like one.
Yes.
And I think things are getting better. I feel more adventurous.
Do you dare to do, Jillian, do you dare to do some positions that you didn't dare when you were younger?
Oh, yeah, when I was married, I had a very straight-laced and performance-oriented husband.
Yes.
And
Which means it took
what-
5 minutes?
No, that's
he
with
took me in
dinner.
between the halves of the football game
Okay.
on Saturday afternoon.
She used to
now-
know for it to be rained out.
Wait, Virginia.
I know a second
Jillian,
quarterback.
Jillian, and now?
Now I have a lover who's about 10 years younger than I am. He's very communication-oriented rather than performance. It really,
Does he
it
talk?
doesn't matter what we do. It's how we do it that counts.
Jillian.
And I think it's wonderful. And, I guess I'm just wondering, growing up as I did in the 40s and 50s, are there other women my age that are,
There's the peak of a
That's
life.
a chicken.
You see that?
I'm a
That's
chicken.
the prime of your life.
She's a chicken.
50 years old, you're just
50 years
beginning
old,
to
my God,
know,
you-
to
you
develop. It
should
takes
have an-
time to develop a
She
good
should have
sex
an ID
partner.
card to go into a
Jillian,
bar.
the nice message, Jillian from New York, is that you are saying that there's hope for everybody and that people can develop and people can do things that they have not done before.
They can think of things to do that they never thought of before.
Yeah, they
Even if they
creative
don't do
sex.
it.
Yeah.
Creative sex.
Okay, we are going to talk about
Like falling
creative
asleep.
sex
Yes.
with Virginia and Nipsey. Stay tuned, Nipsey. I want to ask you that. Are you ever going to get married?
Never.
Why?
Why?
Well, I'm not marriage-minded, you see, because I'm much too involved in myself, my career, and
Are you
things.
too selfish?
And marriage doesn't work. You know what? I would get married when I see the first marriage that works.
Oh, I've got many friends.
Me too.
That are very happily
I'm
married.
married 28
Show me
years.
one.
Me.
The divorce rate alone is nearly 60%. That's those who go to court and do
shall I
it.
tell
We
you
ain't
why?
counting the ones
No,
that just walk.
All right, would you take your little hands down now? We're not at a semaphore with the Navy. Listen, but the point is that we marry too young.
Do we?
Yes, and we become many people in the years that we live. I am no more like
I knew at the age of 14 I would
hope
never
I didn't
marry.
interrupt you. Now, the thing is that you have to be ready for marriage.
I'm never ready.
Well, thank God for the woman that found you.
Oh, yes, I'm
Now,
never
is
ready.
your lovemaking,
Never
let's
ready.
go back to sex and
Yes.
aging. Is your lovemaking, the actual lovemaking,
Yes.
is it different than 30 years ago?
It is much better. I know much
According
better.
to whom?
According to myself and my
What, do
partner.
you get a rating card? What do you do? Mark yourself off?
Wait, I
No,
want to
just
know
the
how he
screen-
does
just
it.
the
Wait, Virginia.
screens.
Nipsey, how do you do it?
That can be from disappointment too, you
Could be
know.
from shock.
Nipsey, tell me how is it different from 30
It's
years
different
ago?
because I understand more the communication that takes place between two people when they're involved in a sexual exchange. It is much more than the
Is
physical.
it verbal? You believe that people
Some
have
of
to
it's
be
verbal. If it is verbal, it's better. But even if it is
Oh,
not,
I
if it-
couldn't say a word.
you would be a big
Never.
washout to me.
Oh, I will. Well, then
Yes.
take a look at a flood.
You gotta have, it's like it's like a song without lyrics.
So
Well,
you
I
don't
love the music.
But how
I
would
think
you know
some of
what
the
one
lyrics-
thinks if they don't tell you?
Now, if the two of you, but
disappointed.
Virginia, I want to tell you something. I, as a sex therapist,
Yes.
have to visualize
Yes.
Don't.
how older people make love at home. If I have to
Same
visualize
as in
the two of you,
Cincinnati. Now let me tell you.
if I have to visualize the two of you, I think that you never get down to making love. You only talk about
No,
it.
we do it.
You do it?
And, and the talking is part of
Once
it. It is
a
the
year
lullaby.
at least.
Once a year at
At
least.
least, yes.
No,
of
the
course.
talking is the glue that holds the relationship together.
Virginia.
See, there is prelude, there's actual
No,
performance,
I
and
would be
there's
ashamed.
post.
I'm
Younger
ashamed. I
people-
would be ashamed
Oh,
to
what a
tell.
drag.
No, I would be
Oh,
ashamed
you gotta
to tell.
talk to me.
'Cause
I gotta have
my erotic
music.
zone is Gucci.
Yeah.
Now, how do you tell that to a man?
Can I ask one important question? There are many younger people out there who are watching us.
Yes.
Is there something, before we have to end, that we could tell younger people how to give that spirit? You are a perfect
They
example.
should love the person with whom they're having
They
a
should
relationship.
love the
That's to
person.
be the first
What
thing.
else?
And they should bathe
Well,
often.
I don't think
They
young...
should bathe often.
Yes, and
They should be
and they
clean.
should
What
yes,
else?
and the perfume should be. You know, there's perfume called Tonight or Never.
Yes.
They should use Tonight.
They should
Yeah,
use the-
very young
What else
people
should they
shouldn't
do?
be involving themselves in
No,
sex.
no. When they get older, that's what,
What do you
I'm
mean?
talking
What,
about.
how
What
young?
can they learn?
How young should a
I'm
person
talking about
be?
30 years old.
18, 19, 20. 16,
I
17-year-olds
didn't know
should
anything.
sublimate.
Yes, but wait, I'm not talking
What
about
is
that.
that?
I'm talking
Do
about
other things
people
that
now.
give them sexual pleasure other than actual intercourse.
Like
Well,
masturbation.
popcorn is a wonderful
One of
thing,
Like
them.
yes.
masturbation?
One of
Okay.
them.
But I'm talking about the people.
Love making, that kissing and smooching that she was talking about.
I don't think you can
that
stop. I
close
don't think you
dancing.
can stop.
Oh, yes,
I don't
you can.
think you can stop. No way. You never finish a meal without dessert.
I want to thank both of you very much. We are out of time. Next time we're going to take 4 hours to talk to
Oh,
these
absolutely.
people.
And then I'll let her talk.
Thank you very much for listening to us. And do remember that sex is up here and
That's
not
the trouble.
between the waist and the knees.
No, that's the trouble. It's up in the head when it gets down.